Travis Scott heading to jail. Britney Spears free at last. Henry Ruggs.
Car crash? Well, Henry Ruggs, actually, it's really Henry Ruggs heading to jail.
Henry Ruggs also heading to jail. And what's the last one?
Beyonce's new song.
Beyonce has new music. All right, my name is Kenim, and you're watching Brand Video Pro. And today we have Ronse from No Hipsters Pod. And let's talk about it. It's been a minute. How you been?
I'm doing well. How have you been?
I've been great.
Yes.
Awesome.
Nice.
Okay.
Welcome back into town. I know you went on vacation.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not vacation, but work. Okay.
Right. Workation. But yeah, the big story is the Astroworld Tragedy that happened a little over a week ago now. So Travis Scott, who founded the festival, was performing when there was a surge towards the front of this audience of where the people were standing, and people got crushed. So over 300 people were rushed to the hospital. 9 people so far have died, and at this point, 200 lawsuits have been filed against Travis Scott, and one of them actually names Drake. But yeah, they filed against Travis Scott, filed against Live Nation, filed against the festival Astroworld, because they're all 3 separate.
Yes. But before we get into that, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the above. It really pushes this video on the algorithm and encourages me to make more videos. This video is brought to you by Brand Video Pro. We help brands and influencers scale their influence and sales. So if that's of interest to you, head on over to our website and click the link down below and find out how we can help you. All right, let's keep going. Okay, right. So who owns the festival Live Nation? Festival Astroworld.
Yeah, it's Travis Scott and Live Nation who own the festival together. Right. So basically, I think the most culpable, if you want to say that. So yeah, what people don't know though is that the reason why, I'm not saying this is why this happened, but there was a countdown to when Travis performed.
Right.
A 30-minute countdown.
Right.
And so it created this anticipation.
Right.
And people started to get excited, and so that's why towards the performance time, people kind of rushing towards the front. And so that's why that happened. And then, of course, they got more excited when Drake was in the crowd on the stage. So it really is unfortunate. People are blaming Travis Scott because he has a reputation for encouraging fans to be disorderly. He's actually been cited for a couple times for inciting riots.
Yeah, exactly. He's gone to jail.
Right. So he likes the whole. He has this very rock star kind
approach,
of aesthetic. He tries to.
Rap has seemed to assimilate or adopt the rock and roll style. Yeah.
Right, and so he tells people to mosh pit, which is very much like a punk rock thing from back in the day.
Right.
And so it's really unfortunate. I mean, I don't want to blame it all on, because I mean.
So wait, again, I like that we've distinguished the lawsuits, because there's Travis Scott, the artist. There is Live Nation and Afterworld, the festival, and that's why I asked who owns the festival.
Yes.
Right. So from an artist perspective, well, it's kind of a conflict of interest, him owning it and him being the artist as well. But I think from the artist perspective, him performing and there being a right, I don't think as an artist that he's culpable, but I think about him as the business owner of this entity that has put this festival together, has a history of cultivating a culture of mosh pits, which has resulted many times in violence. Somebody was paralyzed. I mean, we won't even know the numbers of people that have been hurt in the past from what he's done. We can't really know. Just how we found out this girl died, the 9th person died how many days later. Back in the day, if the media wasn't covering it, we wouldn't have known who died, right?
That's not entirely true. We did I know that there was a Pearl Jam concert from a few years ago that I think people.
Someone died?
Yeah, few people died. So,
what?
Yeah, it's not. I want to be clear. It's not new for people to die at festivals, at concerts, especially.
Right, but no, hold on though. Travis Scott's festival, or is this another one?
No, it's another artist. No.
Okay, but let me stick with Travis Scott here. I'm sticking with Travis Scott here because every artist should be there. Though each case should be looked at individually, right? It's not something that we just lump them all together.
Of course not.
So with this Travis Scott situation, in terms of him as a business owner, he's culpable. And I read this New York Times article, not New York Times, sorry, LA Times article, where they were talking about how he's likely going to go to jail. Well, not likely, but people are debating whether he will go to jail simply because in the penal codes in Texas, he is liable for sort of inciting violence, and it can actually be charged as manslaughter, even because like if you recklessly encourage these type of things, because he was reckless, and if they can prove that he was reckless, right, and they're going to be looking at his history, so all the past events, they're going to be using that and evaluating it, right, and that will all go into their decision as to whether he deserves time in jail, right, and I think on one side, you know, they're the families that have lost their children, and it's so easy for people. I know like a lot of his fans, they don't want to see a black man in jail, or people just don't want to see a black man in jail. We don't want to see someone that's very successful in society in jail. But thinking about the families that have lost their, I watched the press conference with the mother who lost her daughter. That was
ninth one,
right, university
seniors. Just about to graduate.
Imagine paying all those student loans and all of that. She's going to. So like. I understand why his fans, because they have this attachment to him and Kylie Jenner and his family. But think about the other families that have lost their family, even children dying.
Some people, one of the people who died was as young as 16. Right. So it was, I think 16 to 27 was the age range.
So legally, he might not.
Young people.
Right. So legally, it might not be a situation where like he could get by legally, but ethically, in my view, he has cultivated and he's perpetuated this standard for years. Not like this is like 5+ years he's been doing this, right? People have been injured in the past. Of course. He didn't learn from his lesson and he let it go on. Now, as a musician, that's one thing, but as a business owner, for you to do that, people have gone to jail for less. People have gone to jail for speeding tickets, holding marijuana, which is legal now, but it wasn't legal then. People have been
legal in some states.
In some states, okay, there we go. But for sent to jail, thrown away the key. For silly little things. And this guy is culpable for the deaths of these people from a business standpoint, not from him as an artist.
Right.
As a business owner.
I guess, and not that, you know, I'm not playing advocate for
jail.
Travis Scott, but I'm saying ultimately we have to put some responsibility on people and how they behave.
Oh, 100%.
So even if he's telling you to do X, Y, or Z, it's really up to you to decide whether or not you do that, right? And so that's the only reason why I'm like, can we actually, how culpable is he at the end of the day?
Well, if you can be put in jail for inciting a riot, like or Donald Trump being in trouble for it. He didn't tell those people to go there. He didn't tell them. But he did, but he didn't though. He didn't, like at the end of the day. But like, if you can be put, if inciting a riot is a thing, Scott has inspired. Like he has lyrics that says it's not a mosh pit if there's no injuries. He has encouraged this culture of violence
fans to actually try to get into his concerts without tickets. Right?
Okay, that's another thing because you saw them rushing the stage. How many people were just not even supposed to be there that didn't have tickets?
And so here's another thing so one of my friends was actually volunteering at the festival.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I think she was maybe working on the ticket stands. And so she's actually in one of the videos that went viral. And so she's like, yeah, listen, that there was, you know, all the right protocol in place. These kids were just
too many kids.
Unruly. So basically, like they were all there, and they forced one like the fences, metal fences down, and just broke in.
Protocol in her department of ticketing. No protocol in security. Like those videos that I know you posted it on No Hips or podcast about, you know, the security guard that was, So this is his business. I'm not talking about Travis the artist. Travis the business owner.
Right. Let's so people know what we're talking about. So one of the security guards at the festival said that he was hired on the spot.
This is your camera, you know that?
Oh,
no, go on.
So one of the security guards was said that he was hired on the spot and was not asked for ID. And they were given no training at all. So basically just picking random people and basically probably gone for cheap because of
and because they're trying to cut costs. That's another thing they're going to look at in court. They're trying to cut costs, obviously.
The security officer says he was not prepared for what happened at the concert, and he says all of the other security officers who were also hired were also not prepared. He basically says him and his family just showed up to this concert and were given security vests and basically given the job on the spot.
So you show up, they don't ask for your ID, they don't ask for any certification, and they just hand you the uniform?
And then you go to a phone number.
You know, whoever he appointed to be in charge of this festival, between Live Aid and Travis Scott, he's culpable, is part of his business.
Right.
Whoever they appointed was trying to cut costs. Yeah. And if they had proper protocol, because you know, this is my thing, right? You know that Travis Scott cultivates these mosh pits.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, in the past people have gotten injured, people have gotten paralyzed. That's number three. So you're moving into this festival, you should know that you should have the best security, the best standard of security to avoid this from happening. But you didn't put those things in place.
Now, to be fair, though, they did have police presence.
And the police is culpable too. Did you see the police
Why
officer?
would we die?
The police officer that was like filming, but I'm sure that happens all the time. It happens more than you can imagine, right?
That's people want to listen. They're human beings at the end of the day.
Right.
Everyone wants to see a show, and it's a great. I'm sure police officers probably want to work these time shows.
Right, exactly.
It's a free concert, right? And that's why people I'm pretty sure that's probably why my friend volunteered. It's a great way to just go for free. Like,
right,
I'm supposed
exactly.
to pay $400 for the ticket, right?
Right.
And so that's basically, the humans. They had police officers on horseback though, and they actually like sent some of those kids back who broke into the festival. When those kids in the video that shows them like tearing the fence down, some of them were sent back by police officers on horsebacks.
Okay.
So I think to an extent they did what they needed to do. I don't think.
Well, I hear what you're saying, but they didn't. To me, I like the things I listed. Travis Scott does this as an artist, so you put the right protocols. I don't care if you need to have 500 police officers. 500 police officers to save one life. See what I'm saying? So that's.
it's a lot, but okay.
Look, at least we wouldn't have heard that people were dead.
Right.
For 50,000 people? 50,000 people?
Yeah, 50,000 people. I think
is 500 a lot for 50,000 people? It's not a stadium.
Right.
It's what? It's the national park or some. Right. It's not a stadium. So I don't think 500 is that many.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's unfortunate, and listen, 200 lawsuits and counting, of which Ben Crump, of course, never misses a check, so he's actually representing quite a few others who actually has filed, I think, 100 lawsuits.
Please tell us who Crump is.
So Ben Crump is the lawyer who came to public knowledge through the Trayvon Martin case. He represented the Trayvon Martin family, has represented countless other black people who have been killed by the police or other unjust situations.
So you think he's pretty much an ambulance chaser?
Chaser, check chaser.
But every lawyer is an ambulance chaser.
I get that it's a business. I get this is his career. But there's just something about a person who just is ready to rush to the camera as soon as tragedy happens.
Right. Brand building, money making.
But also
every lawyer.
I know this wasn't on the
this.
docket for today, but we can have a great conversation about how there's this, activist industrial complex that has kind of ballooned out of
out of what?
This is just the spate of just high profile. Killings of black people by police. So I'm talking like Sean King,
right?
And what's her name, Tamika Mallory. Just so many people who have really just basically used death to build their brands
as lawyers.
No, these are not even outside of just lawyers.
Activists.
Lawyers. These are activists, but also activists / lawyers like Ben Crump. But people who just there's like a what do we call it? This new
wave
industry.
Of branding. Well, industry, I understand that, and I also see, it just means more money for them, which, as morbid as it sounds, that's just the case. I think about the woman, what's her name, Gloria something? The one that's always representing she represented all the Usher victims.
Allred.
Yeah, Gloria Allred, right?
Yes, yeah.
She's one of those, right? Every time there's some, something,
right.
Or a different genre, let's put it that way, a different class
different type of similar situation.
But that's how you build your brand. That's how you get better known in your field. Stay in your lane and be the one they go to in your lane, right?
Yeah.
As much as as terrible as it is, but
so
look at the good that they're doing ultimately.
I guess, but the reason why I think Ben Crump, I was like, with Ben Crump, like, okay, you've been doing these racist incidents, so now why are you going outside of your bread and butter to just do
something else? Because this is this is the money. This is the money deal. This is gonna make him.
This is slightly out of his lane, and in a way, kind of reinforces what I thought about him, which is that he would go anywhere for
any kind of publicity.
As long as it's high profile and whatever. So.
But I think in terms of the Travis Scott case, I think it's very reminiscent to what's the other guy, the NFL player,
Henry Ruggs.
Okay, so it's very reminiscent. I said my reminiscent to it because
I want to hear this.
There are two sides to it, right? There's Travis Scott, them taking legal action on him personally, and I think that I think both of them should go to jail, personally. But then the other side is how the media is covering black men, right? So like with this Henry Ruggs case, they were. I mean, what he did was terrible, right?
Okay, just so let's take it back so people know what we're talking about. So Henry Ruggs was as of today, former Las Vegas Raiders player, and he was driving at 156 miles per hour and ran into a car,
right?
And he killed a woman and her dog, right? Mm-hmm. And he was drunk. He was actually in the car with his
driving 156.
I don't even know what that feels like.
Like I'm afraid to go like 80.
I don't think I'm going above like 60 ever. And so 156 miles per hour, had a blood alcohol level of 0.161, which is twice the legal limit of 0.08. So super drunk.
Right.
Super drunk, driving super fast, and he was driving a Corvette, which surprisingly his car didn't explode. Only the woman's car exploded, and so very, very, very tragic.
But reckless behavior.
Reckless behavior, and actually he's out on $150,000 bail, which is crazy.
Right.
But he's out until his trial. Of course, he's facing up to 50 years. Has been charged with 4 felonies and 1 misdemeanor, and he had a gun in his car also. So, it's just crazy. And it's crazy how people can really just kind of like ruin their lives. This kid's only 22, by the way.
So, okay, this is my issue, right? On one side, trial him, right, for the case. Let's look at how that goes. Same as Travis Scott. Mm-hmm. On the other side, it's the media. And they have different media covering them in different ways. But it's the media, like the way they want to portray black men. So, like this guy specifically, right? It's very interesting to me how the media has decided, because let's remember that Caitlyn Jenner also killed someone, right? But they didn't go and interview the family of the victims. They weren't doing like covering the story. In fact, how many people know about that? No one.
I think I just know about it vaguely.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So, but in this case, they were interviewing the witnesses. They just wanted to showcase. I just feel like sometimes in media, there's always an over publicizing of a black man that has done bad, but they pay more attention in the media. So like with Travis Scott, as much as what he's done is one side, but there's this on social media. I haven't seen I guess black media. Let me just line. Okay. I haven't seen black media cover him poorly, but I've seen sort of social media and white media sort of like showcase his ex-manager, posting all the ex stuff.
Over Travis Scott? Okay.
Right. With him, it's like interviewing the family, which is the same. Like, it's the same thing. But Travis Scott, I don't know. So many people died. It was quite tragic with Travis Scott. I understand it more. But with the other guy, it's just like I just feel like there's extra effort whenever it's a black person to cover, to just kind of like
you just feel,
tarnish their image in the public eye.
You kind of feel like, they couldn't wait to tear them down.
Right. But my thing is like, put them in jail. That's one side. But at least like
push back on Travis Scott only because it is a festival. There were tons of victims. There's just no way of covering a story like that without speaking to the victims.
Oh no, right? Travis is different, right? But there's still an assassination of his character outside of the victims.
Well, yeah.
But like
his
history,
ex-manager,
his history. Right? But is that his ex-manager though? Is that proof?
Yeah, that's his ex-manager.
Is that proof? Where's the proof?
Wow. Oh.
No, seriously, no. That's no, because like
I said she wants the receipts.
No, but like, because like I hear what people are saying, but like. This guy just comes and says this happened. Where's the evidence?
Why would he lie?
Because it gives him attention. Because he might have worked with him in the past, but he wasn't actually his manager, right? And then the next thing is no. The next thing is prove you're his ex-manager. Also, where's the police reports? Where's the complaint? Did you file a complaint?
There were no complaints filed.
Right.
The story is that he, I don't even know the full context, but had a seizure.
Right.
In a
he has
basement,
epilepsy. Right.
And Travis Scott left him while he was having a seizure.
Yeah.
Travis Scott is the worst person I worked with in my entire career in music. The story that D-Dot is telling is true. I'm Travis Scott's former manager. I'm the one who had a seizure, and I'm the one that he left for dead in a basement in Los Angeles.
And so basically his point was that this is standard Travis behavior.
So
he
I guess
only cares about himself.
Which I hear and I've talked about this on this channel before, but my question is, there must be some sort of legal. That must be violating something legally.
No.
If he's your manager, yes. If you guys have a contract together,
and he's having a seizure and you didn't help him, I don't think you're culpable.
I mean, I guess if you're a lawyer, write it
so
down.
First of all, neither of us are lawyers, so we can't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
But I do say I had to take like a law class in my freshman year.
Right.
And I know some states have a Good Samaritan law.
For what?
just basically if something's happening, you have like a duty to call 911.
Okay.
So, but I don't think that law is everywhere.
And also, but when you actually are someone's business partner, I feel like if there's now like a legal tie, is their responsibility. I guess.
I mean, ethically,
it's
possibly. I mean, yes, ethically. But
ethically, we'll say ethically, but I just feel like where are the
legally,
receipts? Where's the proof that this happened? And I know I hear what you're saying, but it's like, where's the proof? Prove it.
How many people have that?
Anybody can just go on Instagram and say, oh, I worked with Travis Scott. I have a look at me with him. I'm starting here. I did this. No, I don't know you. Who are you? Prove it. That's just my thing. Prove it. Prove it.
I mean, I don't know why this is the hill you want to die on, but I will say.
I just say prove it, but my thing is, it goes back to my point about assassinating a black man's character.
Time he's spoken about this story. He's like, if
he posted it. He posted the Reddit post. The Reddit post.
Yeah, he says
Reddit on a blog.
He said
he didn't even like go to a journalist. If there was like an article in a newspaper, if there was like a legal document, something legitimate, not a post on Reddit. Come on.
No, but there will be no legal documents if he did, like if he filed.
So then your case is kind of like, okay, I want to give, and then it sounds terrible, right? But I want to give a
legal case.
It's not a legal case. I'm talking about them assassinating his character, Travis Scott's character. Okay. That's literally what I'm talking about. Right. And I just say, don't believe everything you see, is what I'm saying.
And that's right. Fair.
So just because some guy says he was his ex-manager and this happened and whatever, everybody's just trying to use what they can to assassinate his character. And I just think... Don't believe everything you read online. That's my point.
As fair as your point may be, as far as people turn him down, I just think that it would be weird for someone to jump out of nowhere and say, "I used to manage him, and I also had
no, it's not.
And I had a seizure."
How did someone jump out of nowhere and said Justin Bieber impregnated her? Have you forgotten that Michael Jackson? That happened to him too.
Well, that's different.
And that
right?
No, but it was a lie.
Of course.
Okay, how's it different? It's attention and publicity. Like, people do it, you know? But I guess, okay.
Fair. I just feel like it's just an oddly specific story. You're seeing people, crazy things have happened, right?
That's what I'm saying, right?
So
I just think maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. But let's not use that to assassinate his character. We
can agree that, back to the Henry Ruggs, we can both agree that Henry Ruggs should probably go to jail.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Right.
100%.
And I also have to we could leave the Travis Scott separate. I think that Henry Ruggs is not being covered harshly. I think
at first he has
earned every bit of the,
At first he was covered harshly when they were interviewing, the victims and all this stuff.
Have they interviewed Henry Ruggs?
They interviewed the girl. There was a girl in the car. There was a girl in the car with the victim, and she dropped her off. Okay. So they went to go cover that. They went to go cover. It's story building. Because I'm a storyteller, I understand, and I also make this stuff. I make this stuff, so I know what it takes. How can you position this to make the character, however you want to make him look, right? Yeah. So it's just building a story around.
He gets no sympathy from me, so.
Right. I mean, he was being reckless. He was also 22.
And old enough to know better.
Go to jail, but don't assassinate his character. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. I mean, sometimes I feel like, who assassinated your character? Did we or did you? I mean, you did it. I feel like you did the deed, so you assassinated your own character.
I guess people have forgotten about it until the case comes up. They'll talk about it again.
Okay, you think?
I think Travis Scott has completely. There's so much in the news. Everyone has forgotten about it. That was like.
I don't think so.
Oh, I think people are talking about Travis. But either way, whatever the case is, I think. Yeah. But anyway,
moving on.
Britney.
Yes, Britney Penance Day was yesterday. So Britney is officially a free woman because her conservatorship, which has been in place for 13 years, was officially terminated yesterday. And so she can live and be.
I just wonder if they've used up all her money.
I don't think they did. I mean, it was crazy. I know her dad was putting himself on a $20,000 a month salary, and
Okay, he couldn't have used up her money then.
It will take. I mean, that's still. I mean, for Britney, that's not a lot of money, but think about what that
Anybody
is.
Anybody else, yeah. But 13 years. I actually want to do the math. 13 years, $20,000 a month.
Yeah,
that is steep.
And I'm sure there are other ways. I think there are other ways where he's found ways to pay himself outside of that.
100%.
So because especially by the time you get to decide who her lawyers is, and this and that and that.
Yeah.
I'm sure that he was getting kickbacks in other ways.
Oh, for sure.
Allegedly, of course.
Allegedly, right? Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's really, really a good day for Britney. Fans outside
Freedom.
the court celebrating. Fun fact: the judge in her conservatorship case, Brenda Penny, is Prentice Penny's mom.
How do I know that name?
Prentice Penny, I guess it's the showrunner for Insecure,
oh, really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
The showrunner, like that one of the head.
Yeah. Prentice Penny, yeah.
His mom was a judge, and apparently she's been getting like death threats throughout this whole case because people have thought maybe she wasn't moving quickly enough and whatever. So,
I'm just so happy for Britney. I just can't imagine being a grown woman, and having like your parents. Any of your parents sort of like controlling your money, like, and that you work for,
honestly,
that you work for.
The money is like, even as bad as it is, I think it's even like secondary to things like, forcing her to wear an IUD against her will.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So she couldn't get pregnant for anyone because they're like, oh no, you have to wear an IUD. And,
oh my God. Just controlling her every move. Everything.
Basically, I think what even for a while, I think changed people's phone numbers in her phone, so she thinks she's texting her friends, but she's texting a random.
How do they have access to her phone?
I mean, I think the conservatorship gave them. Oh my God! I kind of free reign.
I wonder what they're gonna feel like now that like they're completely cut off. Now they're gonna be begging her for money. I hope you made some money. I mean, I hope you invested that money.
If he's smart, he should be set for life. I mean,
I hope he invested that money because you're not getting a penny.
$250,000 a year.
People are dumb. People can blow through that.
Yeah,
people can blow through that easy.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying.
Let's hope not, but we'll see.
I don't hope so. I kind of want to see him broke.
I hope so.
I want to see him beg her for some money.
But yeah. So the conservatorship is over, and so there's an accountant put on her. I guess because there's a transition of power, basically, because she hasn't had access to a lot of her own things, and accountants helping phase back all the control of her accounts back to her.
That's going to take like a while, no? Like a year at least. To sort everything.
Who knows how long it's going to take, but I know there are 2 additional hearings, one in December and another in January. And so till then, the accountant's name is John Zabel. So he's going to be controlling her. He's going to have limited administrative control, they said, till she has power all over her accounts and things like that. So,
wow.
Yeah.
I hope she doesn't blow her money either.
Well, I was just going to say, some people were saying,
doesn't have the literacy.
Is this the good thing we think it is? Like, do we know what she's going to do now that she has?
I mean, it's her. Power? Look, it's her money, and whatever she does is up to her. She works as she complained. She works her ass off. Yeah. To make that money, if she's gonna blow, and she's Britney, she's always gonna get a check.
She's in a better place now, but you have to remember when she was spiraling, she was spending $750,000 a month.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just on life and just shopping.
Well, first of all, she's going to blow a lot of money.
I mean, listen, you can spend that much if you're making enough to cover it.
Right.
Like she probably could if she wanted to. Right. Like, there's still like a lot of.
I think like she has room to splurge, and she just deserves it for at least like. But she also like make the move to invest.
$750,000 a month is hard to sustain.
Oh, for sure.
Even for most wealthy people.
Oh, right? 100%. But she has like, let's say she blows 100 mil, then she like gets her senses, and then gets back on track. Isn't she worth like 300 mil? Isn't she worth like 3?
She's only worth like. Only 80, like I have that much money, but only worth considering how much money she's made over the years, she's only worth I think like 60 to 80 million.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
because she does. First of all, she's not a songwriter, so the people who tend to be really wealthy, like the Mariah Careys, write their songs. Right. So she's not much of a songwriter, and for a long time she wasn't like touring regularly, and I think she hasn't. I mean, first of all, there's a pandemic, but she hasn't performed in Vegas for a while, I think. So.
Huh? Yeah. But Vegas, they give you a check though.
Yeah. So I think she made like in the tens of millions for her residency in Vegas.
Didn't they offer like Beyonce in her prime, but they offered her like a lot of money when they wanted her to do Vegas. This was a long time ago.
I don't think she had like a 5 days of like performances.
I know they had made some crazy offer. Yeah. They had made some crazy offer for her to do a residency, but this was like Beyonce in her prime, and she was like, "Come on, I'm Beyonce." Right. And she's made way more than that, I think.
Yeah. I mean, she's next level. Right. But anyway, switching gears to Beyonce, she dropped a new song. Friday. Yes. It's called Be Alive. It's on the King Richard soundtrack, which is the movie about Richard Williams, who is Venus and Serena Williams' dad. And it's an interesting one.
One thing I'll say is that I love how these A-class black actors or stars show up for each other. you know, because it's not like who gets Beyonce to do a song for their
for
their
movie.
movie.
They've been friends for a long time.
Yeah, so Serena getting her, you know, or Will Smith, I don't know, like who did the deal.
It could be either or. Right. I mean, she's been friends with the Williams for a while. Right. But also, I think the Smiths and Jay-Z and Beyonce have like produced some shows together in the past. Fantastic. So it's I mean,
it's great stuff.
One thing I have to say about Jay-Z and Beyonce that I've noticed, I think they really like winners. Like they like to if you're hot in your field, they want to be associated. It's really strange. But
that's what people at the top do.
Yes.
Everyone at the top, not everyone, but the people that are still relevant.
They're quite naked with it. Like they don't really you're the hottest in this show. Well, let
me tell you something. Anyone that's like as hot as they are, they do that too.
Okay.
And some people maybe you don't know because they're not, let's say, as publicized as Beyonce is, Jay-Z, but they do it.
Yeah. It's interesting.
They do it. Like there are people that you just happen to always have be hanging out with the top coolest people now. Yeah.
It's I'm not to criticize.
That's how you stay popular.
It's very I don't know.
Superficial?
Opportunity. I don't know.
Okay, look, the right word for it? Look, I think there's business and there's personal.
Right.
When it comes to business, from a market standpoint, you want the best products on your shelf. You want the best associations in your shopping, in your mall or in your whatever. Right. You want the best brands in your mall, and that's exactly what they're doing from a business standpoint. Now, on a personal level, I don't know who Beyonce hangs out with on a day-to-day basis, but her persona is her business. So you have to understand from that perspective. Yeah, that's the way it works.
Ultimately, they don't need any. I mean, they're on their own.
No, so. I mean, you could say the same thing about. Well, you wouldn't say the same thing because I know you mean by Oprah does it the right way, right? Like Oprah and Adele. Oprah always getting the best interviews.
Well, yeah, I think it's kind of different, right? Because that's she's.
But why? Because you're seeing the business side with Oprah.
Because she's an interviewer. It's kind of different,
right? But I don't know. But that is her business,
but
though.
Even low key, I feel like even on the personal level, Oprah could be the same in the sense that I think that.
I just think to stay hot, there's a reason that people stay hot, and that's why. Because you have you have a grocery store, you want the best stuff on your shelves. Right. You're not gonna get if this product doesn't sell. I don't want you on my shelf. Get off my shelf. Oh, so take it back.
People are products now.
Yes, when you're a brand. Yes, when you're a business.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But one thing I'll say, just to sidetrack about my Oprah point, is that one thing I don't watch television, and the fact that Oprah gets me to watch TV, to watch her interviews.
She's
a millennial.
She's the best.
It's not just her being the best, but it's also her getting the best interviews.
Yeah, I mean, and also they requested Oprah.
For sure. Yeah.
Oprah looking out for a
job.
Oh
no. I mean, she's Oprah. She's Oprah.
Yeah. So it's different. So most times people usually are asking, but she gets asked, and of course only an Adele can ask. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think Beyonce is not getting asked?
Like Beyonce is not going to ask Oprah?
No. Do you think Beyonce is not getting asked
for interviews?
Not even interviews for her, because Oprah's product is interviewing, right? Beyonce's product is celebridom and music, etc. Do you think that these people that are relevant right now are not reaching out to Beyonce?
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it. Yeah.
Right. So I know, and I'm just to your point, yes, they're kind of positioning themselves as the curators of what's hot now, but at the same time, people come to Beyonce. Of course.
Right. That was never up for that was never up for debate.
Beehive, don't come for us.
Right. But I was gonna say something. So yeah, actually, first of all, back to the song. The song it actually uses the beat of 5 to 1 from The Doors. Okay. It's the beat that people will know it from Jay-Z's song Takeover, and so that she uses the beat for that song. So it's a boom, boom, like it's like a thud type of beat.
I mean, it's a great song. What I like about Beyonce is that she really innovates her sound, but the funny thing is that as much as she innovates, or is it like her vocals, she innovates with her vocals, but that has become her sound and it's become like cliche in the same way. So when I'm listening to that song, it's just the vocals, the thing she's doing is so different, but at the same time it's so familiar because it's Beyonce, right? But I mean, that's probably how she's,
it's innovated. I mean, it's not a song that I would go out of my way to listen to on my free time, but it's a good song.
Until it until it
what?
It grows on you, because you might not know yet. You don't know yet. It could. They say it's too soon to judge a song after even a week.
True.
Drake says it takes 6 months, and then his songs start hitting different.
Oh really?
Yeah, he was saying people when he releases an album, and everybody's reviewing it after the 24 hours or 1 hour, he's like,
Yeah.
wait 6 months and you're going to see everyone's going to be like, hey.
Yes. Yeah, I tend to like many Drake songs like on first listen. I'll tell you this: so "Crazy in Love" by Beyonce, I did not like it when I first heard it.
And now?
And I mean, and now I like it now. I think I started to like it because of the live performances of the song.
Okay.
I was so blown away by just a live
Her,
show.
yeah, right.
I was like, wow, this is good. So I like the song performed live. I don't know if I like the recorded version as much, if that makes any sense.
I mean, hey.
But yeah, so anyway, decent song, and we'll see.
So, what do you think? Should Travis Scott go to jail? Leave a comment down below. Britney Spears, are you happy for Britney? What about Beyonce? What do you think about Beyonce's new song? Let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. All the above. My name is Kenim, and this is Ronse. And see you next time.
Bye.
Peace.